Hello and welcome back. Today just a short video. My 12 string has a rather dirty fretboard, so we're just going to clean it up, and we're going to try and do it without removing the strings altogether. So off to the bench. So of course we've done this stunt many times before. We're just going to loosen off all the strings and of course loosen off all the skinny strings first, because we're going to reuse these. We're not removing them totally, we're just moving them out of the way. We don't want to remove them from the spindle and make it a tough job to put them back together. And you do the skinny strings first, because if you do the fat ones, they're taking up all the pressure on the neck, and you could take a chance at bursting one of the skinny ones, and those are the ones you're going to break if you're going to break it. So la da 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 da, skinny strings first. And as usual, the rope trick: grab half of the strings on this side, rope down under, make sure you get all the strings on this side, rope up through, and then lightly tie in a half knot behind the neck. And that way you might have to loosen off a little more, but the fretboard is completely open and accessible. So we're using our guitar cleaner here, not a paid promotion. And we'll be basically removing any of the dirt that we have on the fretboard. This particular fretboard is rather dirty, and there's a little, let's say, indent in the third fret part there. I don't know if that was something I did from scraping it. I did go over this with the razor blade when I first got it because it was rather dirty. But let's just clean up and make sure we get everything off we can. This particular fretboard has a grain in it that kind of aligns with the strings, so it makes it look like it's dirtier than it is. But let's just get everything off of there that we possibly can. And I sometimes also will use a toothbrush, something soft but with good bristles. See just how much dirt we can get off of this thing. You'll notice that the nut is missing. That's because it's a floating nut. This being a 12 string, I haven't glued it back on because, well, the pressure from 12 strings pushing on it will keep it in one spot. I have a replacement nut because this particular one has browned and, you know, will eventually require replacement. But I'm not prepared to do that just yet. Being a left-handed 12 string with a 1.8 width nut, it is a little rare, so I want to get as much usage out of this one as possible. Just being browned doesn't affect its performance. It just looks ugly. And you really should brush with the grain as opposed to across it, where you're just jamming the DNA deeper into it. I have toyed with sanding it down, but you have to sand with the grain. You can't do across. And doing each one of these individual little areas is a full day job. Someday I think we'll do that, but till then, let's just clean it and re-oil it. So while we were waiting for the cleaner to dry off the neck, I also went around and cleaned the rest of the guitar, the back, other than the neck, which is of course being blocked by the rope trick, so we'll do that afterwards. But now it is time to oil the fretboard. And of course you want a good full coating, 100% across the fretboard. And we're going to let it sit for a count of 432 because that's how long it takes. And then we will remove the excess. But we're going to put on a nice liberal amount because we want it to seep in. We just cleaned everything off of the fretboard a couple minutes ago, so you can see how dry. Well, you might not be able to because of the nighttime and the camera, but the fretboard is really, really dry right now because we did just take everything off that we could. And this is also an opportune chance to inspect the interior. Not much to see in there. It's a guitar, but I can see the truss rod end. Just double check to make sure that all the bracing, being a 12 string, I'm looking for extra bracing. So now we're going to take a fresh clean rag and remove any of the excess fretboard oil from the fretboard. I looked it over closely and it is still sitting on the surface, so it wasn't seeping in anymore. Once we remove all the excess, make sure that you don't have any pooling or any really heavy wet spots around the frets. Make sure you get all of that off because you do not want the oil to get underneath the frets. It's to get into the wood and into the wood only. And you want to make sure you get up against all of these frets so that the oil does not get in underneath and loosen them. Next thing we're going to do is take our flat edge and go over all the frets to see that we don't have any high spots. Way up in there I'm not going to worry about. All you do is get a straight flat blade that will stretch across 3 frets only. And check it for rocking. All you're really looking for is a high spot that might take a little filing, like this one right here. So we will just do a couple of swipes across the middle. Should have done this probably before we fretboarded it. There's just a little bit in the center. Just do a couple of swipes and double check them. Close enough. Once you get so far down, you can use the wide side. Checking the close side, middle, far end. If you want to, you can check more, but that's usually about enough. Number 2. Okay, say, don't do too many swipes. Ta-da. Recheck the one that was up in here. And we're good. Feel across those, I thought I felt a notch, but it was probably just a little piece of the filings. Okay, there we go. Now it's time to reinstall the strings. And when replanting the strings on the nut, go at them slowly so that you know you have the strings in the right spot. You're going to want to probably try and get them all in there. And then double check, make sure you have none of them overlapping, skinny string to the bottom, or the skinny fat, skinny fat, skinny fat, or skinny fat if you're right-handed. Now, what we're going to do is bring them all up to just a little bit of tightness, because it's going to take a little bit for these to get stretched in again. I know that they've already been stretched. They've been on it for a couple of months now, but cautiously re-tighten them to a kind of a mid-tune, and then we're going to bend them, and then we'll bring it into real tune. There's no use in you tuning one up, tuning one up, tuning one up when all the rest of them are really loose, because it's going to change. And of course, when you are tuning a 12 string, you want to get the fat string in tune. In my case, it's a D, because I have this tuned down to D, G, C, F, A, D. So get the fat string in tune, and then the skinny string is going to match what it is when you fret at the 12th of that fat string. So that's where the skinny string wants to be. So then the next one, which is a G, now I'm just getting it into rough tune, because we're going to have to tune it a bunch of times. So there's no use in me wasting battery on my tuner. Then fret at the 12th, and that's where the skinny string beside it wants to be. Now that works for the fatter 4 sets. When it comes to the 2 skinny sets, they will both be the same note for each one, because they are the same thickness of string. So for the 4 of the fatter strings, you want the fat one to get into your tune, and then the skinny one to match the 12th. And so on. Get it into tune, reef on them a bunch of times, bend them, retune it. You're going to want to do that probably about 5 to 7 times. Now, as I say, the first time you go through it, you just want to get them into a rough tune. Now we're going to bend the strings, reef on them, bend them, whatever you have to do. Do it a few times, and then retune it, bend them again, retune it, bend them again, retune it, until they stop changing. And so, as I said, it took about 5-6 times to tune it, bend it, tune it, bend it, tune it, bend it until they stayed in tune. But now you get that 12-string chime that you just can't put down after you've tried one. Well, that's where we're going to go today, guys. So thanks for watching. Please share, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Tell me what I did right, did wrong. I know I do things wrong. I'm not a luthier. Just an old guy with too much time on my hands. And with that, thanks for watching. Bye now.